God, it's Monday. I said that intentionally because it is a beautiful day right here. And welcome to the first edition of the newspaper review for this week. My name is Esther Kalu, and on the newspaper review, what we do is simple. We look through the papers in various parts of the world, from here in Nigeria, the Punch newspaper, the Guardian, and the Vanguard, and then we move to Kenya, where we have the Star newspaper and the Standard Digital for other parts of Africa. I'd like to start our conversation this morning with our guest, Joseph Onyekwere. Thank you for joining us this morning on the newspaper review.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'd like to move to the Guardian newspaper. I mean, you can connect with the stories there very quickly. And the first one here says, UK holds visa for Nigerians as experts ask federal government to reciprocate. Now, talking about reciprocating, experts are asking the federal government to, give them the same ban that they have given to us and stop their visa applications. Do you feel this move is what is going to help us right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a suggestion that is expected from Nigerians because it's, I consider it a political move by UK. And in all honesty, I think that is a conspiracy from part of these Western nations to continue to look down on Nigeria and Nigerians. It's very unfair looking at the position they've taken over Omicron virus, which we did not emanate from Nigeria, by the way. And when the COVID-19 came up, first of all, they had casualties in UK. It didn't emanate from Nigeria, and they didn't take such action against China. At a point, they were vilifying American president at that time, Donald Trump, for calling it Chinese virus. They were part of those that said, no, you are rude. Why should you attach the name of the nation to the virus? But suddenly they now just did the 360-degree turn around and began to. So it shows you that we have no regard in the eyes of these people. And somehow, I love that. I love it. They should shut down their airports and their borders against us so that we can stay here and develop this place. Sadly,
traveling. I know that they have stopped visa applications here, but is that going to stop them as well from leaving Nigeria to get into the... I mean, we have, between November 22nd and November 28th, 67 inbound passengers tested positive. NCDC gave us that report. So if they are stopping us from going there, they are still coming into Nigeria. They are traveling. So don't you see that it's not even helping our own COVID-19 statistics here? The numbers are going up.
That is true, but then, in as much as I will agree with that proposition that we should also shut our borders against them, just as a way of indicating our grievances to show that we are angry, not majorly to also, let me say partially also to control the virus here, but majorly to also show that we are not happy with their position, for me. But if you weigh it on this curve, you will notice that we more or less need them more than they need us. If we shut out the border in retaliation, as experts are suggesting, they can easily bear it. Because most of the people you have there, perhaps businessmen and all about, they can forgo at this moment. But do you know the number of Nigerian students who are in UK? Do you know the number of our people who have a native UK, politicians from different states, from different strata, businessmen who have UK as their second home? They can't stay in Nigeria for 1 week. They go there to spend our money. So you see that we pay us more. We will be at the receiving end. We will lose more if we want to do tit for tat.
Okay, so what you're saying that economically and I mean for the sake of our people over there, they should allow them come in.
I mean the British coming into Nigeria?
Yes. Are you saying that for the sake of our economy and for the sake of our people, our students, and maybe those who want to come in maybe for the holidays, they have some Nigerians that are
No,
waiting. Are you asking that is
no.
okay?
No, I'm not asking that they should allow them come in.
All right.
I'm being objective. I'm saying that Nigeria should also retaliate to show
Okay.
that we're a sovereign nation, that we're angry.
All right.
I am agreeing with the experts that we should also shut them out of our borders. But in all honesty, I am also adding that if you flip the coin somehow, that what is playing out is good. It is a good omen for us eventually.
Okay.
So that we can sit down here and try to do some things for ourselves. Develop our university system, develop our skills, so that our children will school here.
Thanks for mentioning university system and developments, really, because ASU is back in the news, and I was just going to connect it to that, looking at staying back to develop our university systems. And one of the major headlines this morning is saying ASU's ultimatum to federal government ends and lecturers say demands unmet. I'd like to ask you first, are you surprised that their demands are unmet? And the second question now for this particular headline is, do you expect ASU to still apply the same kind of methods in trying to get what is needed from the federal government?
I am not surprised at all as to what is playing out. I'm not surprised. I know the modus operandi of the federal government. I'm not surprised because I know that they try to buy time when they try to negotiate to have made this union back down from their demands. When they see that it has stretched, they will reach a compromise and agree just to allow them go back to work. So I'm not seeing sincerity from the part of the government. That's the truth. Then, on your question about whether they should continue the same tactics and system, I mean the ASU, my answer is no. I don't expect ASU to embark on strike at this period of time. If they embark on strike, it means that they've not understood that applying the same technique and methodology for a particular problem and does not get solution does not require that you continue on that same technique. You will have to change tactics. Because the federal government, their agencies, politicians don't have their children in our universities. So they can afford to shut down that system for as long as anybody cares. Their children don't go to school here. That's the reason why they are indifferent when it comes to the issue of resolving our problems. So if the university lecturer decides to go on strike, they will not bother. I can tell you that. And then the poor masses will suffer. The young ones will be wasting away their times. By the time they will be graduated, the employers will say, we can't take you, you are beyond 26 years of age. Then their children who are already in private universities in UK and US and other parts of Europe will return at age of 21 and take up all those jobs again under written notes. So we have a serious issue in our hands in this nation. I will advise us to try something else, perhaps picketing their offices. If it is the Ministry of Labor or that of Finance that is holding the money, they can go and picket the gates in the offices there from morning to evening for a stretch of a month. Let's see what happens. They won't be able to access the offices. That may be more result-oriented in that opinion.
Okay, let's see how that works if they would embark on such actions. But there's a major story that has been on the news, and the Guardian newspaper gave us this morning that petition demanding justice for late Oromoni gets over 10,000 signatories. That's the Sylvester Oromoni, a 12-year-old who was allegedly killed in his school by his his classmates in school now, and there are over 10,000 signatories according to reports this morning. The nature of boarding schools, the way it is run these days, do you feel comfortable to even ask a parent to keep their child in one, as it is right now?
Yeah, the honest truth is that it will be difficult for me as a person to be able to make a very honest assessment about what our boarding schools look like, apart from the stories that emanate from these boarding schools over here. And all these are pockets of violence here and there. It will not be fair to use it to assess the entire system. For me, I don't see anything wrong in having children in boarding school because some parents will need the children out so that they also face their own life. It gives these children opportunity also to learn to be independent.
Okay.
So I don't think there's anything wrong there.
Okay.
But for me, I would rather say that for the case of this particular school in reference, I was taken aback. I was surprised that such institution that collects high amount of money from parents will lump together the senior students and junior students in one hostel. I'm hearing that for the first time. It's not supposed to be so. Junior students should have a different hostel and senior students in hostel. So if there's going to be altercation, it would be in the open ground when they are all out of their hostels, where people will even see them more. Maybe the senior ones will try to send them on an errand or try to bully them in the open. It will be more open. But to put them where the teachers have gone home, and again, the housemaster, where he or they don't have one, who stays close to the hostel and hear noises and all that, and know people come in and go out. So there are too many questions to ask there.
Okay, but
the truth of the matter is that these isolated matters are trying to paint the boarding school in black and try to dissuade or discourage parents from sending their children to boarding schools.
Yeah, I understand your point, saying that we should not use one scenario to paint the entire system black, or to say that boarding school facilities are all the same. I understand that point, yes. But now let's look at how this particular, because we're talking about a case of murder here. A child is already dead as we speak. But Lagos State government has sealed off the school, quite all right. And others demand the principal's prosecution. So now let's talk about dealing with this matter, because investigations are ongoing as we speak. And now by the side, just preparing for the newspaper review this morning, I heard that even as Lagos State has sealed off the school yesterday, online services are ongoing for this particular institution. Do you see that as enough to be able to handle this?
I don't see that as enough. I expect the government to expedite action in terms of investigation, and also prosecuting those involved and those who, out of negligence, are connected to that crime in that school. Honestly speaking, I have my doubts and feel worried about the whole thing. The thing has garnered petition, the hype is on, social media influencers are, taking advantage of it to air their voices, celebrities are joining, so the euphoria is high there on the internet and on the system is going viral. But I know that the system we have in Nigeria does not value life. We have no value for life. So if this pressure is not sustained, you might be surprised that nothing will come out of it. I can bet you. That school started in Lekidia is not run by a poor man. In Nigeria, if you're rich and influential, you can go walk away with any kind of crime. Okay. You can just do and undo.
Just because of our time,
I don't think that's the difference.
I'll just ask you one last time. This last question. Are you saying that the whole euphoria, the energy that is being put to speak up, 10,000 petitions, Lagos sealing the school and all of that might just die off quietly if care is not taken?
That's exactly what I'm saying, that if the momentum is not sustained, these things will fizzle out in no time, and you won't get to hear anything about the outcome of that investigation. Very soon, quietly, that school will reopen and people will get readmitted and their life continues. Because Nigeria has no value for life. That's what I'm saying. So we should sustain that agitation. We should sustain this momentum to continue to demand for justice for the poor lad who has unfortunately lost his life while seeking education. In that discussion.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, Joseph Onyekwere, on the newspaper review this morning. If not for our time, we would have continued with this. Thank you for joining us.
I want to thank you and also ask that you try to get permission from management to extend your time for a while.
All right. All right, sir. Thank you very much. Do have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching us, and thank you to our guest as well, Joseph Onyekwere, for joining us on the review. I'm Esther Kalu. Do stay safe.